Angeles, the capital of entertainment, and this weekend also the centre of the boxing world. Set for the biggest fight of the year for the WBC World Heavyweight title, Deontay Wilder and Britain's Tyson Fury. One of them will be propelled into the stratosphere. And for all they have achieved, how badly they both need this here. Deontay Wilder, who has achieved so much in boxing terms, still to become a star here in the United States. And for Tyson Fury, well, you know most of the story so far, the incredible fall and rise, and now he's back to claim it all. Welcome everybody. Joining us, Richie Woodall, of course, leading our team, along with our special guest for the weekend, the former undisputed world heavyweight champion, Lennox Lewis. Lennox, of course, fought one of the most spectacular fights of his career in the Staples Center behind us against Vitaly Klitschko. What a thriller that was all those years ago. And the Staples Center is where it will all unfold for you for the WBC World Heavyweight title on Saturday night on BT Sport box office. But this is the weigh-in at the Los Angeles Convention Center just across the street. It's lunchtime here in Los Angeles. The weather is perfect and the crowd, well, we're struggling, in all honesty, to control it. They have been pouring in and they are raucous, to say the least of it. So I'm rather glad we got Lennox and Richie to look after us here. So a great show before the two main protagonists get on the stage to weigh in here. What is in store here? Anything is possible. Tyson Fury's story so far ensures that.
If you look into my eyes, you'll see an endless road. I was born travelling, moving.
Best thing about being Tyson Fury, I don't know, just being me.
Always striking, feinting, ducking forwards.
I'm going to knock him out in a minute.
I can see a road that was fast and furious. The road beneath my feet couldn't keep track of me. Roadblocks that must be overcome.
You are nothing. Remember that. You are nothing.
And in 15 against Klitschko, it happened. It was me, Tyson Fury, the first man in 11 long years to defeat him, to become world champion.
Fury's got it! Fury is the champion!
That road which seemed paved with gold.
The only one who's going to stop me from being successful as a boxer is me.
Turned out to be a dead end.
I'm the man, I'm the man, I'm the man.
I stopped moving forward. I lost focus. I thought it was over. This heart will never stop. Now I'm running and running and running on that road to my destiny. To become world champion. I can see the glory. I know I'm going to win that title.
Are you ready for a war?
And that bum, Deontay Wilder, is just a milestone on that journey. Knocking you out, ball. This journey, it ain't over yet.
Somehow totally appropriate that here we are in Los Angeles, because it very simply writes itself as a film script if he can pull this off, Tyson Fury. Lennox, he's made so much out of my journey, the terrible problems outside the ring that nobody would make light of in any sense, and he has become something of a standard bearer for people far away from boxing and sports who are struggling in their lives to overcome. So in that sense he is a champion. But you've all got backstories, all you fighting men. Do you consider Fury's to be exceptional in any sense? What he's done and where he's come from?
Well, you know, when you look at Fury, he moves well. He's got that natural rhythm that helps him in the ring. He's got long arms, and he's never there to get hit on the chin. What he is,
you've always wanted to work with Neil Diamond, haven't you? You've worked with all the stars, but until now you've never worked with Neil Diamond.
No.
This is it. This is the fulfilling moment of your great career. And I know you're more of a reggae man.
Yes, I
Richie,
am.
can you hear me on the end there?
Yes, I can, yes.
I said 2018, the story of the year if Fury does this. Would you agree?
Yes, I think very much so. I think when you look at the history of boxing and you look at comebacks in the sport, one that springs to mind for me is Muhammad Ali. Out of the ring from 1967 to 1970, recognised as the lineal world champion, comes back and has 2 fights, Gerry Cooney, Oscar Bonavena, and then steps up for the big one against Joe Frazier. And you know, he gets floored in that fight and he loses on points over 15 rounds. So this certainly echoes that. And I would say that although Tyson Fury's come back and had 2 fights, the opponents, first Fury, no disrespect to him or Francesco Pianetta, they're not quite in the same category as Gerry Cooney or Oscar Bonavena, but nevertheless, this would be, it would, I think, equal that sort of a comeback to win this fight. Yeah, that is an amazing achievement.
Richie, may I say, I've never seen you more pumped up. And one of the fascinations for boxing fans everywhere in this one is that this is absolutely a 50-50 fight. A totally credible reigning WBC World Heavyweight Champion, of course. That was one of Lennox's titles long ago. And this man is one of the biggest punchers, if not the biggest puncher in modern day boxing.
Deontay Wilder has done it!
As I said, a credible champion. He looks formidable, doesn't he? And the record is formidable. 40 straight wins, unbeaten, 39 by knockout. And now on the record, he has actually knocked out every man he has fought. One rematch was in there as well. So there are no holes in that sense. But he likes to keep it simple. And the homeboy from Alabama has been back home to prepare for this one.
Come on.
I like Tyson. He's very funny to me, and you know, I like his personality in boxing, because in boxing, you know, we all have ego. You know, we're all crazy. You know, because we're crazy. We the one doing this, so you got to be a little crazy in this sport to even just be doing it and risking your life. I don't recall no fight that I've seen Tyson Fury that's been this sight. We've always seen Tyson Fury in a little slow, boring fights and stuff like that. And the only action we got out of him was his mouth. That's what he's good at, his mouth. Just talk. But
one thing I promise when I go to Las Vegas is I'm knocking you the out, bro.
I don't think he's the best that I've faced so far, in my opinion. You know, the best fighter I've faced so far, in my opinion, is Luis Ortiz. Tyson Fury is still unknown to be found if he's going to be the best I fought. I haven't fought him yet, so I can't make that decision off of him yet. A lot of guys going to be hesitant to compete against me because I have so much experience. I've been in so many, I done fought so many styles. I've been out of my comfort zone so many times. Like, it's not a surprise. Nothing can be a surprise of me at this point in time in my career. And that's what makes me so confident. That's what makes me so powerful and so strong. Because of my experience in this sport, nothing is a shocking moment for me no more, nothing.
We're getting deeper up into sparring and stuff now. So the guys are getting bigger and the rounds are getting longer.
I'm 40 fights in. I done had 40 training camps. So if I don't know what I'm doing right now, then I'll never be able to succeed on to the next levels.
You're going to be your own biggest critic when it comes to the week of the fight, especially when it comes to the day of the fight. Now you're going back and saying, did you do everything right? Did you do everything you know you could do? Did you shortcut yourself? Even with the weights. Did you put all you could put into it? And if you didn't, you're going to have doubt.
December 1st, I knocked Tyson Fury out. That's what happens. All that talk goes out the window. I mean business, what I say, and that's what I do. I'm a knockout artist. That's what I do. You know, how many times I gotta prove to people over and over and over and over. It's a surprise to me every time I knock guys out there. I get surprised still too. People wouldn't even know. I'm like, wow, I got another one.
Wilder Fury on BT Sport box office. For BT TV customers, please go to channel 494, follow the instructions from there. For Sky customers, if you haven't ordered an event from BT Sport box office before, register and pay online at www.bt.com/sport box office. For those Sky customers that have purchased a BT Sport box office event before now, please go to Sky box office. For Virgin customers, go to the on-demand section and choose live events. And if you want to watch online or via our app, visit www.bt.com/sport box office and follow the instructions. This is a pay-per-view event. It costs $19.95 and you must be over 18. And for more information and full terms and conditions, please go to bt.com/sport box office. Hopefully you will not be disappointed. Can I ask you about Deontay Wilder, Lennox? Now, as outstanding as you were as a boxer and a fighter, I never felt you were particularly comfortable selling yourself in this show business sport. And Wilder has struggled to do that as well. Why?
Well, you know, I think the fact that a lot of people don't really know him, and he's had a lot of fights. He started late in boxing, so it takes him a lot more fights to get adjourned and adjust to boxing, especially heavyweight boxing.
Has he been a bit too dangerous for his own good because he's been blowing so many people away?
Absolutely, he's got a devastating right hand, and he can throw it at any given moment. It doesn't matter if it doesn't come straight. If it lands, it does a lot of damage, and we've seen that in the past. But, you know, what I always say is, you know, if a man knows your job in there, if he knows that you're a right-handed puncher and he can throw and he can hit you with a right hand, people are going to realize that's the danger punch I have to watch out for. I remember going to training camps and having to tape my right hand to my chin.
I remember that. Actually.
Yeah, because these guys were coming around with the left hook, and I didn't want to get caught with the left hook. I wanted to take away their best punch. So if Tyson Fury can take away Deontay's best punch, you know, then the other punches come into effect. But real boxing comes into effect.
Now, Richie, you weighed it up already for us brilliantly in the week on BT Sport, and it seems the obvious thing, but is the biggest factor in the whole fight, either side, that right hand of Wilder?
Big right hand of Wilder, that's why I'm convinced. I think Tyson Fury will box large periods of this contest as a southpaw. It's harder to land the right hand if he's sitting back. I think that'll be crucial. Expect Tyson Fury to switch it from orthodox to southpaw.
I think it's going to be dangerous if he turns into a southpaw, especially against a guy that throws a right hand, because the normal punch that you throw against southpaws is right hand. So if he's going to turn southpaw and allow, you know, that to happen, I think that's going to be a mistake.
I think if he's walking forward as a southpaw, then he walks onto the shot. If he's moving away, it's more difficult.
And let's remember as well, fellas, the most exciting fight and the most jeopardy fight that Wilder has had so far was against Luis Ortiz in March of this year, and he too was a southpaw. So that adds another layer of fascination to it. Thank you both for the moment. We hope you've heard most of this. The crowd is absolutely incredible, I have to say, and for the record, very well behaved so far. It's all building here in Los Angeles. Please rejoin us in just a couple of minutes.
If you look into my eyes, you'll see an endless road.
When the walls are caving in and the world stopped.
I was born travelling, moving.
Best thing about being Tyson Fury, I don't know, just being me.
Always pushing forward, punching holes into the future. My future.
I can no doubt be a world heavyweight champion.
Your future. Always striking, feinting, ducking forwards. I'm going to knock him out in a minute. I will see you tomorrow with me belts. If I look back,
I'm just going to bring something new to the heavyweight division. If I ate what I want, I'd be 50 stone. What's worth more, a bar of chocolate or the heavyweight championship of the world?
Easy fight.
Fury.
Hard fights. I can see a road that was fast and furious. Fast fists, fast mouth, fast minds. The road beneath my feet couldn't keep track of me. Roadblocks that must be overcome.
You are nothing. Remember that. You are nothing.
Welcome to my town, UK baby. And in 15 against Klitschko, it happened.
So here in Dusseldorf, it's Klitschko against Fury.
Determined to be the greatest. It was me, Tyson Fury, the first man in 11 long years to defeat him.
Look at Fury taunting
to become world champion.
Night of frustration for Klitschko.
The boy from 1,000 roads.
Using his reach beautifully and doubling up on that left hook.
The restless boy hungry for glory.
So there it is, the final bell.
Took that title and held it proud for all to see.
Fury's got it! Fury is the champion!
That road which seemed paved with gold.
The only one who's going to stop me from being successful as a boxer is me.
Turned out to be a dead end. I stopped moving forward. I lost focus.
You don't like it, change the station. You don't like it, don't take photos. You don't like it, don't print it in your newspaper.
I lost the will to fight. Nothing or no one can ever fill the gap of darkness. I thought it was over, only light. This heart will never stop. Now I'm running and running and running on that road to my destiny. The problems are behind me. Now I'm moving forwards again. To become world champion, I can see the glory. I know I'm going to win that title. Are you ready for a war? I always stand tall. I'm proud. And that bum, Deontay Wilder, is just a milestone on that journey. Knocking you out, Paul. This journey, it ain't over yet.
Los Angeles, the setting then. It is the day before the WBC World Heavyweight title showdown between Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury. And we are all set here at the Los Angeles Convention Center for the weigh-in, live on BT Sport. Welcome back, everybody. Lennox Lewis is part of our team for the weekend, along with our own Richie Woodall, and also on the team as usual, Steve Bunt. And Steve is out there somewhere in the crowd to speak to the man who, on this side of the Atlantic, put the whole deal together, representing Showtime TV, Stephen Espinoza. Steve, to you.
I'm right by the side of the stage. It's a fantastic stage. The sun's out. Stephen, Paul Dempsey's done a lovely intro for you. Was it easy putting this together from an American perspective?
Much easier than some other negotiations we've had recently. I think we all know what we mean. Really, the only question was how Tyson would look in his August fight. And once it was clear that we started to see the old Tyson, and more importantly, Tyson felt comfortable, then he gave everyone the green light. The deal was signed straight away within 2 or 3 weeks, and here we are.
It's an American heavyweight fight. I know there's a Brit, but it's an American heavyweight fight. Is it the start of the heavyweights taking over again here in America, and is that something you're relieved about?
It's certainly what we hope is the start of something, a rejuvenation, a reinvigoration of the heavyweights. It's been, at least for here in the States, it's been almost a couple decades since there was excitement around the heavyweight division. You know, Americans are somewhat parochial in their sense. You know, they want to root for Americans, and we haven't had a top-tier American in the heavyweight division to root for in quite some time. So this represents, you know, our best hope in the recent past. But regardless of the winner, whether it's Tyson or Deontay, these are the types of fights that are good for boxing, good for the casual fans. There's one thing that's very clear. The casual fan loves heavyweight boxing, so this brings new fans to the sport.
Stephen, thanks very much indeed. Put your sunglasses back on and enjoy the afternoon. What a day. Paul, back to you.
Thank you, Steve. He doesn't really need to sell it very hard, Stephen Espinosa, does he? Because of the danger elements in this. As we've said, it is a 50-50 fight, and the stakes could not be any bigger. But can Tyson Fury truly be ready after 2 years of turmoil out of the ring, all his problems, 2 brief comeback fights, and now in against a man as dangerous as Wilder?
If I'm going to lose, I want knocking out properly. I want to lose proper. I don't want to lose by split decision. Oh my God, I got robbed. I want to get carried out on a stretcher if I'm going. Or else I'm going to try to put you on a stretcher anyway. We'll see in the Wilder fight anyway. Because everybody thinks I'm going to jib and jab around the ring and, oh, wait till he catches me in around 11 with 30 seconds left and I'll pull my own hair out, knock my own teeth out, punch myself in the face. I want to rip Wilder's heart out and feed it to him. And if he knocks me out on the process, then good luck to him. But he better be prepared for a hard fight. Because I think this is my calling card fight. This is my wake up and smell the competition fight. I was sparring like the top lads in the country, in the world, at 26, 27 stone, and doing as many rounds as they wanted. My boxing ability's never been in question. I've never lost anything from my boxing ability. My movement, my feints, my IQ, nothing. All I did was put a lot of weight on. I had to get the weight off. It wasn't healthy for me. It was either get the weight off or die, basically. And I don't look at this as a comeback, because I'm not coming back to what I once was. This is a new me. This is a new Tyson Fury. The legacy of Tyson Fury from a child to being heavyweight champion of the world and achieving his dreams, that book has been closed. This book is a new book. And I feel, to be here, sat here today, and to be in this position, I just feel blessed. Because no man could have ever had a greater life than me. Because I've had it all, chucked it all away, and I'm going to regain it all. Again and again and again. I have no inkling on who he is as Deontay Wilder. The man behind the gloves, I don't know. But as a boxer, you have to admire him because he's become world champion. Even though he's knocked out bums all the way to 30-odd fights, every man takes knocking over. Every man bears a chin, and every man who's been knocked out has been separated from his senses. I think he's the biggest puncher in heavyweight history. Mike Tyson didn't even knock out as many opponents as Deontay Wilder. I don't fear no man. I don't fear being knocked spark out or even killed. I don't fear nothing.
Richie, you know what? He is a man of contradictions, Tyson Fury, isn't he? They're so serene and thoughtful, and yet some of the antics that we see from him have been pretty borderline, even in this build-up with Wilder. Today, here at this weigh-in, do you think that will be his game plan again?
Absolutely, I think it's been a game plan right from the word go with Tyson Fury. I think he's very, very clever, actually. I think he wants Deontay Wilder to flip, and I think he's done that 2 or 3 times. I read somewhere where Mark Breland, Wilder's coach, said that his man is going to be patient in this contest. Well, he's not showing the signs of a patient man. A couple of times he's actually flipped in these little skirmishes that they've had. And I think that's all part of Tyson Fury's game plan. He wants him to come for him. I think the way that he wants to box on the back foot, and he wants to invite pressure. So I think it's a clever move from Tyson Fury.
Thank you, Richie. We'll hear from Lennox in just a moment or two. We are approaching the hour for the weigh-in here at the Los Angeles Convention Center, and I'm told that Tyson Fury is not far away. Well, again, he's been waiting a long time for this. He would be on time, wouldn't he? So we're going to take a short break, and hopefully when we come back, we will get to the main business at hand here.
December 1st, I knocked Tyson Fury out. That's what happened.
I don't fear no man. I don't fear being knocked spark out or even killed. I don't fear nothing.
I mean business, what I say, and that's what I do. I'm a knockout artist. That's what I do.
I want to rip Wilder's heart out and feed it to him. And if he knocks me out on the process, then good luck to him. But he better be prepared for a hard fight. If you look into my eyes, you'll see an endless road.
When the walls are caving in
born travelling, moving.
Best thing about being Tyson Fury, I don't know, just being me.
Always pushing forward, punching holes into the future. My future.
I can no doubt be a world heavyweight champion.
Your future. Always striking, feinting, ducking forwards.
I'm going to knock him out in a minute. I will see you tomorrow with me belt.
If I look back,
I'm just going to bring something new to the heavyweight division. If I ate what I want, I'd be 50 stone. What's worth more, a bar of chocolate or the heavyweight championship of the world?
Easy fights.
Tyson Fury.
Hard fights. I can see a road that was fast and furious. Fast fists, fast mouth, fast minds. The road beneath my feet couldn't keep track of me. Roadblocks that must be overcome.
You are nothing. Remember that. You are nothing. Welcome to my town, UK, baby.
And in 15 against Klitschko, it happened.
So here in Dusseldorf, it's Klitschko against Fury.
Determined to be the greatest. It was me, Tyson Fury, the first man in 11 long years to defeat him.
Look at Fury taunting him.
To become world champion.
Night of frustration for Klitschko.
The boy from 1,000 roads.
Using his reach beautifully and doubling up on that left hook.
The restless boy, hungry for glory.
So there it is, the final bell.
Took that title and held it proud for all to see.
Fury's got it! Fury is the champion!
That road which seemed paved with gold.
The only one who's going to stop me from being successful as a boxer is me.
Turned out to be a dead end. I stopped moving forward. I lost focus.
You don't like it, change the station. You don't like it, don't take photos. You don't like it, don't print it in your newspaper.
I lost the will to fight. Nothing or no one can ever fill the gap of darkness. I thought it was over, only light. This heart will never stop. Now I'm running and running and running on that road to my destiny. The problems are behind me. Now I'm moving forwards again. To become world champion, I can see the glory. I know I'm going to win that title. Are you ready for a war? I always stand tall. I'm proud. And that bum, Deontay Wilder, is just a milestone on that journey. Knocking you out, boy. This journey, it ain't over yet.
The Staples Centre is where it all unfolds on BT Sport Box Office on Saturday night, the fabled venue. And the full lineup. All these men will be weighing in with us shortly, incidentally. Britain's young heavyweight, well, I say young in professional terms, Joe Joyce, the 2016 Olympic silver medalist, a man of huge talent, now making his way in the United States at heavyweight. He meets Joe Hanks. Also on the card, Luis Ortiz, who gave Deontay Wilder all kinds of trouble earlier this year. He meets Travis Kaufman at heavyweight. Jason Wellborn, as you've seen, is also on the card here today. And adding to the all-star lineup, the great Evander Holyfield, who's made his way in here to witness it. It must be a big fight. You know him quite well, don't you?
Yes, I do.
Good afternoon, everybody. I need
You're both aging so well, and it brings back so many incredible memories. Two of the greatest fights I ever had the privilege to be at. One, Holyfield Tyson, and here in the Staples Centre, Lennox Lewis against Vitaly Klitschko. Now the weigh-in for your fight with Klitschko, my memory is it was inside rather than outside.
Yeah,
That's
it was
right.
inside. It was inside.
Lennox, what was your game plan at the time of the weigh-in?
At the weigh-in, basically, I just wanted to get into the ring. You know what I mean? It's like, oh man, I have to go through this weigh-in, and it's more time. But I was prepared from the weigh-in. I was ready to go.
To pick up from what Richie was telling us about what Fury has been trying to do mentally to Wilder, did you believe in any of that stuff? Did you actually encourage your opponent to try it on in that sense?
Well, to a point. You see, Fury hasn't really changed his game plan. He's always been a talker, and he's always been, you know, a guy that hypes and says different things. Whether it's hyping himself up or getting in the other person's head. This is a situation, you know, if you allow Fury to get in your head, he'll get in your head because he's just that type of guy. Even sometimes when you're not trying to get him in your head, he gets in your head because he says something or does something like out of this world or something like that. So, you know, that game definitely works, and he's great at it. And, you know, he'll keep up the face until the weigh-in, until the fight, even in the fight. So
wonderful weather here in Los Angeles today, quite in contrast to yesterday. I tell you, if it had been 24 hours ago, I'm afraid all these people would have been going home like drowned rats, but the weather's been kind, and we're nearly all set. Lou DiBella, who's been in as many big fights as Lewis and Holyfield, is with Steve Bunce.
Thanks very much indeed, Paul. Lou, you were influential in putting this together. I saw you there. You've got a big grin on your face. It never grows old.
No, it doesn't. I mean, you live for this. You live for a heavyweight championship fight this significant. You know, the Gypsy King, the Bronze Bomber, 2 undefeated guys, the linear heavyweight champion, the BC heavyweight champion. Man, this weigh-in is electric. And I got to tell you, there are a lot of people here supporting Deontay, a lot of people from this area in LA, but the Gypsy King did a pretty good job getting the gypsies to represent, because there are thousands of gypsies here today, and people, you know, they love their champion, and America is now loving its champion, and we have a great event.
Lou, it's been a long time since we got excited, since we spoke at a heavyweight event, an awful long time. Wouldn't it be lovely if we could have a decade or more of significant heavyweight fights here?
I think this could be the impetus. You know, I think the winner of this fight elevates himself into a whole other stratosphere. And the playing field in the heavyweight division evens out to a great extent. That'll make it easier to make the biggest fights, and that's what people want to see. There are up-and-coming heavyweights. We're going to continue to build them. I think this decade will be a decade for the heavyweights.
Lou, thanks very much indeed. The one problem with Lou DiBella, he's never excited enough, is he? He just plays it down. Back to you, Paulie.
Trying to stay cool in the heat of it all here, and it's going to be so hot tomorrow night in that ring, Richie, isn't it? These two guys have worked so hard to get to this point, and from working backwards the last 24 hours, what's important to pick up on what Lennox was saying about the mind games and all that, getting on those scales. What are the really important elements now?
I think what's important is experience, and on paper you would say Deontay Wilder, you know, he's having his 8th defence, he's very experienced at this, and Tyson Fury's only having his 2nd world title fight, and yet Tyson Fury has done the ultimate. He went into the Vladimir Klitschko went into his backyard and beat him over there, so he's experienced everything really in that one contest. So on paper Wilder's had, you know, he's having his 8th defence, but you can say that there isn't anything that Tyson Fury hasn't experienced with just that one fight.
And I know they're both seasoned pros, but coming into this is such a huge fight here, Lennox. We do not have the issue of making weight as heavyweights, okay? So the last 24 hours, is it just about, in terms of your body and your mind, being hydrated in these kind of conditions, just adding that little tiny little percentage maybe? What do they concern themselves with?
Yeah, I would say the last concerns is, you know, what type of food they're going to eat. Obviously, they're going to eat their fight meal. You know, mine was spaghetti. So they're going to do that, make sure they get enough rest, make sure, obviously, they got to do a lot of little interviews, which are important. And the main thing is just to stay focused on what you have to do tomorrow night, and try and not be out of that focus, and try and stay relaxed. Having the right people around you is important too. You have to have some calm people around you.
People you trust.
Yeah,
and of course you had a very settled camp, and actually that's different with Fury. He's brought in Ricky Hatton, Freddie Roach, the great trainer here in Los Angeles. That's all new this time, Richie.
Yes, it is all new, but they're giving encouraging signs, aren't they? I think Freddie Roach this week said that about Tyson Fury, his greatest asset is his sight and his vision as a boxer. You can't train that. You've either got that or you haven't.
Thank you both. We're also in the esteemed company of Jimmy Lennon Jr. here.
You have joined us right here outside of the LA Convention Center, home of the LA Auto Show for the week. And we have a big afternoon in store for you and a big night tomorrow night as Premier Boxing Champions presents Wilder versus Fury for the Heavyweight Championship of the World. Our action is brought to you courtesy of Bomb Squad Promotions and Queensberry Promotions in association with TGB Promotions, DeBella Entertainment, and Showtime. We are sponsored by Corona Extra, who invites you to find your beach, and Casa Noble Tequila, the Noble Pursuit. Well, fans, tomorrow night's 4-fight pay-per-view card begins at 6 p.m. Pacific time. That's 9 p.m. in the East, and can be viewed on Showtime pay-per-view, streamed on Showtime, and available in the UK live on BT Sport Box Office. Our pay-per-view event begins with a 10-round heavyweight attraction. Let's begin our weigh-ins with them as well. At this time, please welcome a heavyweight with a fine record of 23 wins in his 25 professional bouts. Fighting out of Newark, New Jersey by way of Los Angeles, please welcome to the stage, Joe, the Future Hanks.
Joe Hanks making his way up, who's going to be fighting Joe Joyce.
Undefeated in his campaign to the ring with a record of 6 wins, no losses. All 6 wins coming by way of knockout. A fine pedigree of boxing. He is the British 2016 Olympic silver medalist. Please welcome the juggernaut, Joe Joyce.
And getting a tremendous reception from the literally thousands of fans massed behind our presentation position here.
The scale at this time, once again, heavyweights in the ring starts off our pay-per-view event, 10 rounds of boxing schedule. Now to the scale with 15 knockouts in his 23 victories. Once again from Newark, New Jersey, please welcome Joe, the Future Hanks.
Joe Hanks, who's only had 2 fights since 2014. 35 years old. 2 years older than Joe Joyce, and stepping up onto the scales, big lad, Barry.
247.5 pounds, 247.5 for Joe the Future Hanks. And his opponent is ready to step onto the scale at this time. Once again, please welcome the proud Olympian, the undefeated heavyweight talent from London, the juggernaut Joe Joyce.
17 stone 9.5. Was Joe Hanks, and now Joyce. So impressive so far in his professional career, stands 6'6".
Joe Joyce weighs in at 262 pounds.
262 pounds, exactly 19 stone, Barry.
Together for a face-off at this time. Once again, this opens up our card. Showtime pay-per-view, also live on BT Sport Box Office in the UK.
Joyce quoted as something like a 40-1 on favourite to win this. 6 wins, 6 stoppages in that professional career so far, and this is a big stage for him, and he'll enjoy every moment of it.
It's a big stage and another step up, but to be fair, he's had big tests already in his pro career. I don't think he's afraid to take the risk. I think he realises with the age that he has to make a fast impression, and he's done nothing wrong so far.
33 years old, and you see as they come face to face just what a big unit Joyce is.
He is in an era of massive giants of heavyweights. He stands above most of them. He really is a solid unit, not just tall but thick set. And I think that'll bode him well in this fight, and also most definitely in the future.
Personable lad, Joe Joyce, and he's been sparring Tyson Fury in the run-up to this.
Again, you're talking about not just the fights, the experience of being in gyms with great fighters, you know, the awkwardness style of Tyson, and just being around how they conduct themselves in the gym. You know, and obviously also in the Sheffield with the GB squad, he still goes there quite regular. So he's getting a real rounded apprenticeship, is Joe Joyce.
How highly do you rate him? I mean, he's going to be surely in title contention very soon, because you say he's going to be fast.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, we're ready to bring out our fighters in our next attraction on pay-per-view.
He's learning to be a little bit more agile. He's getting the upper body movement into his game, but I think his strength is his actual physical strength, and I think that's the most important part. He has to not forget what made him an Olympic silver medalist is his fitness and his strength. But he's been working on his game, and he's looking very, very impressive.
Pennsylvania, please welcome
now another heavyweight fight being introduced. This is Travis Kaufman gentleman, 33 years old, 2 defeats in 34 fights, and he was certainly an aggressive presence at the press conference.
And his opponent, we welcome to the stage at this time, a winner of 29
and here comes the
of
39-year-old Cuban Luis
bouts,
Ortiz.
the former world title challenger, fighting out of Miami by way of Cuba. Please welcome top contender Luis King Kong Ortiz.
Ortiz, 39 years old. He's been something of an avoided man, and he gave Deontay Wilder all the trouble he needed earlier this year.
Well, more than giving Deontay Wilder trouble, I think he showed for other fighters what you have to do to be successful against Deontay Wilder. Obviously, in the end, I think the power told there for Wilder. This is not quite a crossroads fight for either, but both just coming. No, the last but one fight, they both had defeats, so they're both coming back looking for title contention. Ortiz is the massive favourite, of course, but listen, this is the big for Travis. This is a massive opportunity for him, and he'll be giving his all tomorrow night.
Well, Travis Kaufman just taking his top off now, stands something like 6'3", from Pennsylvania. And he was certainly talking a good fight, and we've got the main event coming up shortly. You'll be seeing Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder stepping onto the stage before too long. This is relatively civilized. I think you'll find the atmosphere rather different when they step up. Here's Luis Ortiz.
Welcome the hard-hitting and acclaimed heavyweight contender, Luis King Kong Ortiz.
Good reception from the Fury fans.
Well, I think they see the good job he did, obviously, against Wilder.
That's 241 for Luis King Kong Ortiz.
241, 17 stone 3. And next up, we're going to be having the introduction of Jason Wellborn and Jarrett Hurd. Jason Wellborn relinquishing his British middleweight title to be here in this fight, and what a fantastic opportunity for him.
It's a big ask, but also, it's an opportunity that you can't, of course, you can't turn down.
This is our second bout in our pay-per-view.
We're going to be having a face-off for the cameras and for the television cameras as well. I guess for the main event fighters who are away from this for the moment, a few nerves for them. Do you reckon that Tyson Fury is going to try something here to wind up Wilder once again?
That doesn't sound like Tyson Fury, John, to do that sort of stuff. Listen, that's part of what makes Tyson Fury is the angle of winding his opponents, of getting in their heads, getting them frustrated, getting them angry, trying to get them out of their rhythm. And I think he does it. In this modern era of trash talking, he stands above most. Let's be honest.
Well, I've been around a lot of fights for a long time, and I know that people who I respect, people like Tim Smith, the old journalist who now works as a PR man for Al Heyman, he's saying that Deontay Wilder always performs as he has done in the run-up to this, but I think he has really bitten.
Well, it's usually always up to Wilder in his fights. He's usually the only talker out of the two guys getting in the ring. Now this time he's got a guy who not only matches him in selling a fight, but maybe he's slightly better than him. So I think he's maybe struggled with the role of not being the main guy doing all the mouthing and all the antics, and Tyson's really taken over.
And everybody's talking, of course, about him being the home fighter and whether or not that's going to be an advantage to him. When he steps up here, he's not going to feel like a home fighter here.
World title attractions brought to you by Bomb Squad Promotions and Queensberry Promotions in association with TGB Promotions, Dabella Entertainment, and Showtime. Once again, we are sponsored by Corona Extra and Casa Noble Tequila. 12 rounds of boxing for the unified IBF, WBA, and IBO 154-pound championship of the world. First, please welcome to the stage the challenger with a record of 24-6 from Timmendale, England. Please welcome Jason Wellborn.
Black Country Boy.
It's a huge opportunity for him. He had 2 fantastic fights, coming off the back of 2 wins against Tommy Langford for the British title. 2 great fights, really hard fights. But he's up against a monster tomorrow night in Jarrett Hurd.
To the stage at this time from Uncle Keek, Prince George County in Maryland, undefeated with a record of 22-0 with 15 knockouts. The defending world champion, Swiss Gerry Hurd.
And here comes the champion, extrovert character, not exactly shy and retiring, and he's a talent.
And a fantastic singer, as we've seen in one of the press conferences. No, he is a talent. He's not technically the most gifted of fighters, but he's strong and you know, he's aggressive, but also he can box a little bit on the move as well. Well, what he is one of the biggest light middleweights you'll see. He really is.
Making his first attempt at a world title. He's the former British Commonwealth middleweight champion. Please welcome Jason Wellborn.
So here is Wellborn.
Once again, 154 pounds is the weight limit for this title fight.
Middleweight here fighting at super welter, and a pound and a half inside the limit.
And now we invite the champion to the scale at this time, making his fourth world title appearance. Here is the undefeated IBF, WBA, and IBO 154-pound champion of the world, Swift, Jared Hurd.
And for a 154-pound fighter, Barry, he's a big lad.
He's absolutely huge, and forget what he looks like now. What's he going to look like tomorrow night? He's going to be absolutely massive. We've seen him in the past against Erasandi Lara, the way literally the physical size was what won him the fight. He really bullied Lara around in a close fight, but a fight that he deserved to unify. Well, Pat unified the title. He is a bit of a unit, isn't he?
So 154, the target weight.
Jared Hurd weighs in at 152.6 pounds.
So
we have a fight. We have a championship of the world.
Almost identical weight to Jason Wellborn.
Well, both well within the weight, which is surprising, especially for Wellborn. Obviously, his last couple of fights have been a middleweight, so you think that maybe struggle slightly, but they both come in nice and comfortable. Both are in tremendous shape. And to be honest, Wellborn, you wouldn't bet on him winning the fight. Let's be brutally honest. But we know with Wellborn, he gives 110%. He will give a good account of himself, that's for sure.
Very, very game fighter, and so popular within the British sport.
He really is. Because the way he performs, the way he conducts himself, the way he performs in the ring. And do you know what, John? Boxing's a dreamer's sport. It really is. And you just never know.
Well, we'll have the face-to-face confrontation between the two of them, and when they do come face to face, you'll see exactly what we were talking about the difference in stature, and you'll see that Jason Wellborn, despite having been a middleweight, he is significantly the smaller guy.
Once again, this is for the unified IBF, WBA, and IBO 154-pound championship of the world. The champion, he is undefeated. Making his fourth world title appearance, Swift Jared Hurd. The challenger making his first attempt at a world title, Jason Wellborn.
And next, we await the main event. I think that Deontay Wilder, in all probability, is going to be rather heavier.
Now my pleasure to hand over the interview duties to my colleague and Hall of Famer Steve Farhood.
Well, he might be heavier, but what he won't be is heavier than Tyson Fury. That's true. He might be heavier than previous contests.
You made weight. You've never been to America before. What do you make of all this?
It's a brilliant experience, and obviously to be fighting over here as well for my first time, it's brilliant. Everyone's been amazing and made us all welcome, so just got to do the business Saturday night, and looking forward to it now. Wayne's done, so all the hard work's done from both sides now, both midweight, and two champions now. We're going to put a good fight on, and I'm coming for them belts.
The American fans don't know you, they're not familiar with you. You're an underdog in this fight. Tell us exactly what it is about yourself that's going to pull off the upset tomorrow night.
Well, to be honest with you, I've always been the underdog, and I've proved people wrong, and it's nice to keep proving people wrong. I've been underestimated a couple of times now, and British champion, WBC, and these belts are on the line, and he's got his next date, but he just needs to worry about Saturday night and their team, and then we'll go from there.
We wish you a lot of luck.
Thank you.
And now we'll hear from the champion, I think, who's making his way across to Steve, and here we go.
All right, the champion, Jared Hurd, a couple of belts there. You're coming off surgery. You elected to defend your titles. Tell us why, and tell us how you're going to beat Jason Wellborn.
I'm defending my titles because I'm a true champion, man. That's what champions do. I have the unified titles, and I wanted to put them on the line and defend them. And tonight I'm going to go out here and display, man, why they call me Swift. Man, I'm diverse. You know what I mean? I got versatility, and I'm going to show it worldwide.
Good luck to you. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
A lot of huge names here, and I think the heavyweight legends who've been gathered here are going to be the next people up onto the stage to be introduced. I'm not sure Lennox is going to be leaving us, but he'll certainly be introduced, to, I'm sure, to terrific acclaim from the predominantly British crowd who are watching on here.
Oh, the crowd, they've been fantastic so far, haven't they, the audience? They really have, cheering on Tyson Fury songs for the last hour and a half. They've really been very, very vocal, so God knows what they're going to be like when Tyson gets on that stage.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, your attention for a very special moment. We are honored to have with us this afternoon a number of heavyweight greats and legends joining us for this big mega event, not only for the weigh-in but also for tomorrow night. Please welcome them as I bring them to the stage at this time. First, please welcome gentleman who won the gold medal in the 1976 Olympic Games. He's a two-weight division world champion. He was the undisputed light heavyweight champion and lineal heavyweight champion of the world. Please welcome International Boxing Hall of Famer Michael Spinks.
Michael Spinks still looking in good shape, had those two fights.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, at this time, a man who upset Mike Tyson in 1990 in Tokyo to win the undisputed heavyweight title. He was a 42-1 underdog, a victory still considered the biggest ever in boxing history. Please welcome the former heavyweight champion of the world, James Buster Douglas.
1990 in Tokyo when he beat Mike Tyson.
Still the greatest upset in boxing history.
What a performance.
It really was.
What a performance. And there he is, the big fella.
And now at this time we invite up to the stage, best known for his tremendous fights with Larry Holmes and Muhammad Ali. He's a two-time heavyweight world title challenger, considered by many experts to be the hardest puncher of all time. Please welcome Ernie Shavers.
Tremendous fighter Ernie was, and my word, he could punch, Murray.
He really could, and in any other era, he's a world champion, let's be honest.
In all
And now, ladies and gentlemen, a man who won 28 career fights in the heavyweight division with 24 big knockouts. He faced Larry Holmes, he faced George Foreman, he faced Michael Spinks during his 13-year career during the golden age of heavyweights. Please welcome the one and only Gerry Cooney.
Gerry Cooney staying in our hotel and looking extremely well. And absolutely full of it as well. He's enjoying the moment.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, the former undisputed heavyweight champion of the world. He won the WBA, the WBC, and the IBF titles by beating the then unbeaten Evander Holyfield. He's another member of the International Boxing Hall of Fame. Please welcome Big Daddy Riddick Bowe.
Riddick Bowe, those fights against Evander Holyfield, how good were they?
Fantastic. Just a shame we never seen him and Lennox get it off in the end.
And now joining us another International Boxing Hall of Famer. He remains the last heavyweight to hold the undisputed titles. Please welcome the three-time heavyweight champion of the world, Lennox Lewis.
Lennox alongside us in the commentary position and getting a great reception. Rightly so.
Can't make it to the stage. Certainly an honor to have him with us here this afternoon. And now, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome at this time a member of the International Boxing Hall of Fame. He had 2 wins over Mike Tyson and a draw with Lennox Lewis. He is the 4-time heavyweight champion of the world. Please welcome Evander, the real deal Holyfield.
Great reception for Evander. He also had a defeat against Lennox.
There's a few who can say that, let's be honest, John. But what a fantastic warrior he was.
Let's bring our heavyweights together. Photo opportunity. A tremendous honor to have these greats with us here today at this weigh-in.
Lennox is making his way up there to join them. Wonder if he's going to say to Riddick, you should have fought me. He said he didn't want to know.
But he chased the fight, let's be fair. He did chase the fight, and it's just a shame this in politics. Always been
joining
a
us on
pain
the
for this
stage,
sport.
Lennox Lewis. He made his way up here. We're certainly glad that he did. Joining the other heavyweight greats for this tremendous photo opportunity.
What a gathering of talent.
I was going to say, some line up that, Jonathan. It really is fantastic.
And Tyson Fury will be watching on somewhere close. Deontay Wilder as well. And in years to come, they'll be ranked and mentioned maybe in the same breath as these guys.
Listen, if Fury can pull this off tomorrow night with the troubles he's gone through, the layoff he's had, it'll be something special. It really will.
There he is, Tyson Fury, all 6'9" of him, closely shaven now for the event and watching on. And I'm sure he's a huge student of the game. He applauded every one of them up onto the stage.
Thank you.
And he'll have loved seeing them.
Well, of course, I think this, like you said, he's a student of the game. He knows the history of the sport, and more than anything, he's technically very good. He's a really naturally gifted fighter, but he thinks about his work. And what's impressive about Tyson Fury is he adapts while he's in the ring, and that's going to be very important for tomorrow night. How he adapts to what Deontay Wilder throws at him.
Well, tactically, he's very clever. I mean, I've heard people suggesting that there's a distinct possibility that he might fight southpaw as he did against Derek Chisora in the second fight.
He might, but I don't think he has to all the way. I think he has such a beautiful jab, and his footwork, even though he boxes southpaw, very, very, adapt to it, and very, very successful when he's a southpaw. I think he got more fluency in his work with his footwork and his jab when he is an orthodox. So I don't think he necessarily has to go southpaw. I think people are looking about the Ortiz fight with Wilder. He had success taking away that right hand, but I don't think he has to. I think he'll adapt and he'll change his tactics throughout the fight. Will Fury.
Premier Boxing Champions presents the highly anticipated main event of the evening, brought to you by Bomb Squad Promotions and Queensberry Promotions in association with TGB Promotions, Dabella Entertainment, and Showtime. Sponsored by Corona Extra and Casa Noble Tequila. It's Wilder versus Fury for the heavyweight championship of the world. 12 rounds of boxing and a showdown of undefeated heavyweight giants for the WBC title. And now, ladies and gentlemen, join me in welcoming first to the stage at this time. Standing at 6 feet 9 inches, his record is 27-0 with 19 knockouts. He is the lineal heavyweight world champion from Manchester, England. Please welcome the Gypsy King, Tyson Fury.
Here comes Fury, and what a reception. Thousands of his fans are here, saluting their champion, the lineal champion. And as you can see, all holding mobile phones aloft and trying to get their personal momentum.
Ladies and gentlemen, here he is, standing at 6 feet 7 inches. His record 40-0 with 39 big wins coming by way of knockout. He'll be making the 8th defense of his title. Here is the hard-hitting WBC heavyweight champion of the world from Tuscaloosa, Alabama, the Bronze Bomber, Deontay Wilder.
Well, he might be on home soil. Doesn't sound like it, does it?
We might as well be in Manchester. It's absolutely tremendous, isn't it, for Fury? But what's impressive about Deontay Wilder, and I think it shows, is his self-belief and his confidence. So I don't think this will phase him. He's been a little bit rattled with the way Tyson's been in his face, but I don't think the crowd will worry him. I think he has that self-belief that he just thinks that everyone he fights he can knock out.
Well, the chants go up of who are you? And he's taking a little bit of time getting up onto the stage, but there he is. And roundly booed by every Tyson Fury supporter here. You big dosser is the chant. I'm not sure that Deontay Wilder had heard the word dosser before Tyson Fury introduced it.
Let's bring our fighters to the scale at this time for our main event of the evening. At this time, please welcome. He's England's former WBA, WBO, and IBF heavyweight champion of the world, the undefeated Gypsy King, Tyson Fury.
Last time he fought, he was 18 stone 6. Going to be interesting to see what he is now. 18 stonework representing 252 pounds. And he looks in great shape.
And he looks hyped up as well. Look at him. He's super confident as always, Fury.
256.5 pounds for Tyson Fury. 256.5 pounds.
18 stone, 4.5 pounds.
The thing is with Tyson, the weights don't affect the way he moves. So I think you want that weight for when they get close. You want to lean on Deontay Wilder. Put all that weight and make him work hard.
2008 U.S. Olympian and bronze medal winner. He is the reigning and defending and undefeated WBC heavyweight champion of the world, the bronze bomber, Deontay Wilder.
Now, Wilder was only 214 pounds when he fought Luis Ortiz. I'd be very surprised if he was as light as that for this.
But then again, he's a guy who needs to be, he wants to be, the speed is a friend of Wilder. The way he throws that right hand, it's like a bullet, it's 100 miles an hour. So and he's an athlete, more than like where Tyson's more of a boxer, he's more of an athlete. So he wants to be limber and loose. So he doesn't dine out on strength. He doesn't like to get close and work away. He keeps it nice and long. So I don't think the weight's going to be a massive factor for Wilder.
Fury was less than 18 stones when he fought Vladimir Klitschko. But when you think that he went up over 400 pounds reportedly in his much publicised time away from boxing, to get down to the weight he is and to step onto the scales in the shape that he was, remarkable. Now here is Deontay Wilder, not so shy of expressing a view or two. It's going to be interesting to see if they're actually made to go face to face up there on the stage.
Here he goes.
Here he is. Certainly his upper body in remarkable condition. He's got very, very slender legs.
Weighs in at a ready 212.5 pounds. 212.5 pounds for the undefeated WBC champion.
He's dining out on. He's going to be looking at speed, because he knows Tyson is so agile for a big fella. He's going to want to try and match him for movement, possibly.
Stands 6'7" and weighing less than Mike Tyson and Evander Holyfield used to be when they fought.
No, the height's important because Fury, Wilder's always had the advantage of height and reach over his opponents. Tonight he doesn't. Tomorrow night he doesn't. And that'll be interesting. For the first time, I think in his career, he's going to have to punch up. And that's going to be if he can carry that power when he's punching up, opposed to punching down.
Very risky and should be.
Well, this is going to be interesting when they go face to face. There's been pushing and shoving and shouting.
Championship of the world.
Are they going to behave themselves this time, I wonder? Fury has been orchestrating his support, conducting the crowd, and he's up there and ready, smiling and chatting to his promoter, Frank Warren.
Fury, I think his job's done. With the psychological games, he'll think his job's done. He'll think he's got in Wilder's head already. So he's not, you can see he's nice and happy, nice and relaxed. He'll whisper something in when Wilder's ear. If they go close, he'll whisper something in his ear and hope to ignite that fire again, just to get under his skin one last time.
Well, we're almost ready now. Wilder's got his tracksuit bottoms on. He's getting himself ready, pulling his top on, and in just a moment or two, he's going to be walking across to face the dancing Gypsy King.
The build-up to Tyson Fury fights have never been anything but entertaining, and this is what he lives for. He loves the big stage, and he performs on the big stage. The biggest test of his career, Klitschko, he was perfect with his tactics. He boxed tremendously well, did the right things, took the jab away from Klitschko, and that's something he's going to have to do tomorrow night against Deontay Wilder. Is take that jab away. That's very important for him.
In a lot of ways, Barry, it's been reminiscent of those great heavyweight fights of the 90s and going through just past the millennium. It's great to see a big heavyweight title fight back here in America.
It is.
And here they come. Here they come. Fury taking his top off. I wonder how close they are going to go. Pointing at Wilder, clenching his fist.
There they are, ladies and gentlemen. The last
shouting.
They'll face each other before they see each other in the center of the ring tomorrow night. It's the main event of the evening. 12 rounds for the WBC Heavyweight Championship of the World. Deontay Wilder versus Tyson Fury.
And being kept well apart.
Yeah, but that's good there from Wilder. He's nice and calm. He's focused. He didn't take the bait there from Tyson Fury. This is getting close to the fight now, John. There's no all the gamemanship, all the joking around. It stops now.
Fury shouting and bellowing across the stage. Nothing coming back from Wilder, and I think we'll hear the two men. Interviewed before too long. Let's go to Steve Bunce.
I've got Tyson now. Tyson, could you see anything in his face? Could you see anything in his eyes?
Yes, he's flapping. His ass is flapping. He don't want to be in this fight and he's getting knocked out. All 212 pounds of him.
Thanks, Tyson.
Hall of Famer Steve Harhood.
Apologies for any of the people who might deem that industrial language. Tyson Fury rushing off, being pulled away. Poorly, we expected that. That's what we get. Back to you, Paul Dempsey.
Thank you, Steve. Our thanks also to Barry Jones and John Rawling. Well, they didn't detonate the big ammunition, so that means the fight's on because nobody fell off the stage and nobody's on the way to the hospital or emergency room, as we say here, Richie, after what happened in the build-up and, of course, through that promotional tour. Lennox, to you first. Why does a WBC World Heavyweight Champion, unbeaten, have to wear a mask at a weigh-in?
Let me tell you, I don't know. That's his thing. You know, obviously it helps him prepare. I've seen him wear a mask in the fight, and maybe it's the alternate self. You know, he wears the mask, and then all of a sudden when he unmasks, he's somebody else. So I don't know what was behind that, but he probably has his own personal reasons why.
I noticed that Tyson Fury was doing a lot of whooping there. You did not answer him. Is that your way of saying the talk is over, it's time to fight?
Talk is cheap. Tomorrow is time. Actions speak louder than words. So come tomorrow, I'm gonna show everything. I get to release everything that's inside of me.
I guess you can't wait for that.
I cannot wait.
Let me ask you this. Do you view this fight as not only the most important of your career, but perhaps your most difficult?
It's definitely the most important, but definitely not the most difficult. I fought way tougher guys than him. My opponent last fight was way tougher than him. This is just another step to me getting to where I want to go. Like I said, there will be one champion, one face, one name. And he go by the name of Deontay Wilder.
Tell us exactly what's going to happen tomorrow night.
I'm going to knock him out.
Can we get a bomb squad?
Bomb squad!
Deontay, good luck. Thank you for taking a minute.
Well, we heard from him after a fashion there at the end of it, Richie. How did you read it, both parties?
I think he was quite calm, wasn't he? I think Tyson Fury was trying to goad him right to the very end there, but he stayed quite calm, I think, and it just adds a little spice, doesn't it, with the mask on and whatever. But there, I was quite impressed with Deontay Wilder. I thought he stayed very calm and composed, to be quite honest.
Once again at the Staples Center. And once again, on behalf
so a reminder to everybody watching at home with us, for tomorrow night, Wilder versus Fury, BT Sport box office. For BT TV customers, please go to channel 494 and follow the instructions. For Sky customers, if you haven't ordered an event from BT Sport box office before, register and pay online at www.bt.com/sport box office. For those Sky customers that have purchased a BT Sport box office event before now, please go to Sky box office. For Virgin customers, go to the on-demand section and choose live events. And if you'd like to watch online or via the app, visit www.bt.com/sport box office and follow the instructions. A pay-per-view event. It costs $19.95. You must be over 18. And for more information and full terms and conditions, please go to bt.com/sport box office. It's beginning to empty out here at the Los Angeles Convention Center. We'll wrap it up in just a few minutes with more from Richie and Lennox and the rest of our team to set the scene.
If you look into my eyes, you'll see an endless road.
When the walls are caving in and the world stopped.
I was born travelling, moving.
Best thing about being Tyson Fury, I don't know, just being me.
Always pushing forward, punching holes into the future. My future.
I can no doubt be a world heavyweight champion.
Your future. Always striking, feinting, ducking forwards.
I'm going to knock him out in a minute. I will see you tomorrow with me belts.
If I look back,
I'm just going to bring something new to the heavyweight division. If I ate what I want, I'd be 50 stone. What's worth more, a bar of chocolate or the heavyweight championship of the world?
Easy fights.
Tyson Fury.
Hard fights. I can see a road that was fast and furious. Fast fists, fast mouth, fast minds. The road beneath my feet couldn't keep track of me. Roadblocks that must be overcome.
You are nothing. Remember that. You are nothing. Welcome to my town, UK, baby.
And in 15 against Klitschko, it happened.
So here in Dusseldorf, it's Klitschko against Fury.
Determined to be the greatest. It was me, Tyson Fury, the first man in 11 long years to defeat him.
Look at Fury taunting him.
To become world champion.
Night of frustration for Klitschko.
The boy from 1,000 roads.
Using his reach beautifully and doubling up on that left hook.
The restless boy, hungry for glory.
So there it is, the final bell.
Took that title and held it proud for all to see.
Fury's got it! Fury is the champion!
That road, which seemed paved with gold.
The only one who's going to stop me from being successful as a boxer is me.
Turned out to be a dead end. I stopped moving forward. I lost focus.
You don't like it, change the station. You don't like it, don't take photos. You don't like it, don't print it in your newspaper.
I lost the will to fight. Nothing or no one can ever fill the gap of darkness. I thought it was over, only light. This heart will never stop. Now I'm running and running and running on that road to my destiny. The problems are behind me. Now I'm moving forwards again. To become world champion, I can see the glory. I know I'm going to win that title. Are you ready for a war? I always stand tall.
The headline here in Los Angeles, Tyson Fury on and off the scales, 18 stone, 4 pounds. Deontay Wilder, the defending WBC World Heavyweight Champion, 15 stone, 2.5. And they're now making their way back to their hotels to relax and prepare for battle tomorrow night, just across the road here at the Staples Center from where we've sit and watched the weigh-in at the Convention Center. More from Lennox and Richie in a moment, but straight back down to Steve Bunce. Steve is with another illustrious name drafted in for this job with Tyson Fury. Steve.
Thanks very much indeed, Paul. I'm with Ricky Hatton, who's part of Tyson's team. Now, Ricky, Tyson's been coming in and out of your gym since he was 27, 28 stone. Are you even shocked and impressed with what you've seen today on the scales?
I think it's incredible, to be honest with you. You know, I mean, we all, you know, I mean, I lost a bit of weight over the years, myself, didn't I? But nothing like what Tyson's done. And I feel so proud for him. And when he first started off on the journey, you know, saying that he was going to come back, I looked at the side of him and I didn't share the same enthusiasm, and I don't mind saying that, you know. And So for him to come and prove us all wrong like he's done, and he had other problems between his ears as well and everything to cope with as well. So seeing the Tyson Fury that I saw, a few years ago to the Tyson Fury today, makes me feel proud to be his mate, yeah.
And sometimes when he was doing some of those sparring sessions when he was 27, 28 stone, were there not just flashes of the old Tyson that you could see, Rick?
Well, you look at his weight now, he's absolutely lean as a whippet, but even when he was around 28 stone and 22 stone, he was still brilliant. He was still elusive. He was still, you think to yourself, and it's, it's a 50-50 fight. I think most boxing people would if you know your boxing, we're going to say it's a 50-50 fight. But I've had the luxury of seeing him in the gym, and you're dealing with a very, very special talent. And the most impressive thing about Tyson is his self-belief. He believes he's the greatest of all time, and he's not just, whether we don't, he does. And that's what Deontay's up against.
And we've just seen the man in the mask, Deontay Wilder, go there, Rick. Is he a fighter that's impressed you, or you can't fail to be impressed by his knockout ratio?
Yeah, I mean, he's when you look through the history, he probably won't go down as one of the greatest of all time, but when you think of ferocious, hard hitters, he's got to be up there with one of the hardest hitters of all time. His record speaks for himself. But, he's fighting some good men, but I don't know. I think this is another level for Deontay, to be honest with you. You know what I mean? It is, isn't it? You know what I mean? He's got all them knockouts and all them wins against, good guys, but not, the score, yeah.
Ricky Hatton as excited as the rest of us. Thanks very much indeed, Ricky. It's beautiful down here with all these legendary heavyweights, Paul. Back to you and another legendary heavyweight.
It really adds lots to have Ricky involved in this promotion as well, no doubt about it. He agrees with us that it's a 50-50 fight, Richie, but the weight differential that we've just seen, that's over 3 stone and over 2 pounds of a weight difference.
And let's not forget that Deontay Wilder actually weighed in with his tracksuit bottoms on as well. So yeah, he's going to be 3 stone heavier. I think if the contest goes over 5 or 6 rounds, that 3 stone could play a big part, especially if they get close. If he's leaning on him, I think Deontay Wilder won't want anything to do with Tyson Fury up close and personal type of thing. He'll try and keep a gap because you've got another man leaning on you that's 3 stone heavier. That's got to take his toll, Lennox, hasn't it?
Lennox?
100%. I mean, he may have been boxing smaller guys, and smaller guys don't lean on you as much as a bigger guy does. So obviously when he hurts him and he leans on him, that's going to definitely take some effect, because it's like, okay, now I've hurt the guy, now I've got to throw him off of me and throw some punches. And we don't know where that's going to happen in the fight. It could happen in the early part of the fight or in the last part of the fight, but it will definitely happen.
Leaving aside the scales and what they told us, with your expert eye, how did Tyson Fury look to you overall?
Well, you know what, you can't tell a lot by the looks. You can tell by a lot by the action. So really, we have to see him in the ring, and I'll tell you after the first couple of rounds. But what he looks like now, he looks like a man that's definitely lost a lot of weight. Doesn't look too hard, but, he's definitely lost the weight.
The man who has guided him back on this incredible comeback path so far, again, a new personality at the top level in boxing, but it's a big moment for Ben Davison as well. Steve is talking to him now.
It is a big moment, but he's taken it in his stride so far. Ben, any surprises up on the stage? Lightness of either of the fighters?
Yeah, I was surprised at Deontay coming in that light. I know he come in similar to that weight for Ortiz, but he said he was ill going into the fight. Whether it's a positive or a negative, we'll find out tomorrow.
It's clear, or it seems to me it's clear, Ben, I'm assuming you'll make the same assumption, that he's working on speed, mobility, and not getting in any way entangled by the big lad Tyson.
Of course, we already knew that, but, like I said, it's a similar weight to Ortiz. I'm not saying it means a similar performance, but what I will say is that performance against Ortiz will not beat Tyson Fury. So, like I said, whether it's a negative or a positive, we'll find out tomorrow.
And Ben, you're still as calm now as you were a year ago when you were helping him drop, the 10 stone. Are you going to start to get excited, Ben?
Do you know what? I'm a very relaxed, balanced person. I think that's been one of the keys to our relationship. I don't let my emotions run too high. I don't let them run too low. And I think that's been a testament to the transformation of Tyson.
You just step aside there, Ben. I'm not being mean. Isaac, you're on the bill. Now, you've been around Tyson through thick and thin, and that's the best description. When he was thin, when he was thick, and now he's thin again. Has he changed as a person? Is he more intense for this fight? Have you noticed anything different, kid?
He's a lot more serious about this fight. Obviously, where he's been and where he come from, but noticed what I've been noticed. He's had, for the first time ever, he's had 3 camps back to back. He's been 1 camp out, another straight camp back in, and people shocked how his body's changed and got into shape. Do you know what I mean? And how he's ready for it. He's 100% focused. When the fight first got made, people didn't think it was going to happen, and they thought it was going to Tyson would get knocked out. Now they've looked at the shape of him and said now he's serious. You look at the money, what's going on, Tyson, now, and you're going to see a big display by him tomorrow. He's going to knock him out.
Listen, so we see a big display from you. Good luck tomorrow. Final word on the way in from Ben. Ben, there's whatever it is, 36 hours or to go. What's on the agenda for you inside the Tyson camp and Tyson?
We'll just relax, go for a little walk, make sure he's not feeling lethargic, keep him a little bit active. But like I say, nothing that's going to take anything out of the tank. Keep him feeling good, make sure his nutrition, hydration's right, and he's there. You know, he was ready last week. He's elite level mentally, so he's ready to go.
Elite level mentally. Ben, thanks very much for your time. Isaac, thanks for your time. See you tomorrow. Oh, Paul, everyone's so relaxed. It's beautiful. Everyone's got a bit of Lennox Lewis about them. They're so relaxed. Back to you, Paul.
And how is that relationship developing for you, Richie, between Davison and Fury?
Well, it's an interesting one, isn't it? He's a fairly new trainer, Ben Davis, but they've seemed to have clicked. And I think they'll have worked on their tactics for this one, obviously. And they will know that Deontay Wilder, being so as light as he is, he's naturally a smaller, slimmer man, more mobile, and will certainly be dangerous very early on in this contest. These first 4 or 5 rounds, that he's got to watch out for that right-hander, especially. If Fury can get over those first 5 or 6 rounds, then the fight complexion changes completely.
Let's take you back all those years, you know, nights like the one you had here at the Staples Centre. You come off the scales, Lennox, and now it's all about counting down the last 24 hours or less to the fight itself. What, as a fighter, does one need to hear from trainer and seconds?
Well, you know what my trainer used to do, we used to go back, obviously talk about the fight, and maybe even do some shadow boxing or even some pads just to keep sharp, and then make sure that we get a good rest, get some good food in us, and then rest up until the fight time, and then kind of go over what we're going to do when we walk to the change room, what we're going to do in the change room. And you know, my trainer usually says, oh, he's going to wrap my hands and this and that. So all those things are going to happen after this that the public doesn't see.
You had an unbelievably settled camp all through your career, the same people at nearly every job you ever did. A lot has changed with Tyson Fury over the last 2 or 3 years in terms of the people working around him. Is it important that there isn't that continuity on his side? JD's has been with Wilder since the day he turned pro.
Right. Well, that's very important to keep your trainer. I mean, when you get different points of view coming in, it's kind of difficult. It's really what you bring in. At the end of the day, you're going to resort to what you know, because all these trainers that tell you different things, you can't remember them because they've only been in your life just a short little while.
This is my point, exactly.
Yeah, so he's going to resort to what he knows, or he's going to listen to the best stuff he hears.
But I think, Richie, you would also agree that Fury has a particular ability to sift all the right information for himself. You know, he's an absolutely top drawer operator in that respect, and he's proved it time and again, hasn't he? It's so close now. Wilder Fury. BT Sport box office, BT TV customers, channel 494, follow the instructions please. Sky customers, if you haven't ordered this event or an event like it on BT Sport box office before, register and pay online. For Sky customers who have purchased a BT Sport box office event before, Sky box office. Virgin customers, go to the on-demand section, choose live events. If you want to watch online or via the app, that is the website, follow the instructions. Pay-per-view event, it costs $19.95. You must be over 18. For more info and terms and conditions, bt.com/sport box office. I raced through that because this is Steve Bunce.
Thanks very much indeed, Paul. I'm joined here by the men who will be privileged to sit 6 feet away tomorrow and do the commentary, John Rawling and Barry Jones. John, were you surprised at how light Deontay Wilder? Because you speculated he'd be a lot heavier.
Absolutely. I thought he was going to be, 15.5 stone at least, and to come in as light as that. A couple of pounds lighter than he was against Ortiz. I think that's a surprise. He's clearly going for speed, and whether or not he can pull it off, I don't know. There's been a lot of money on Fury today.
A
lot of money on Fury. And Barry, you weren't close enough to look in their eyes, but could you sense anything from the body language of the two of them?
Well, you couldn't see Deontay Wilder with that mask on, but I think all those psychological games now, that comes to an end now. You're ready or you're not ready, and I think Tyson was trying to get that one last little dig in, trying to goad him a little bit more. And to be fair to Wilder, give him his credit, he didn't take the bait. He was nice and relaxed, nice and focused, in tremendous shape. And I think light is not a problem for him, and I think heavy is certainly not a problem for Fury.
Thanks so much indeed, Barry. Ready or not, and I'll tell you one thing, Paul Dempsey, we are indeed ready.
Thank you, fellas down there. My final impression, Richie, the one I'll take from this: Wilder, WBC World Heavyweight Champion, at home here in the United States, being booed onto the scales. That's the issue for him, isn't it?
Yes, of course it is. I mean, he certainly won't have expected it, I wouldn't have thought, and he would have expected a few more cheers from his fans, but it wasn't to be. There's thousands of Tyson Fury fans here, and I think it's going to be a magnificent occasion, and I really believe that Fury can do it. He's got to concentrate those first 4 or 5 rounds.
And what is critical, Lennox? Last word to you.
I think what's critical is, you're right, the first few rounds is very critical. Who's going to get in first? Who's going to impose their will on the other person? What the other person's game plan is? You know, Tyson Fury's game plan is obviously to get in your head, and Tyson Fury's is to get in your head.
We're going to finish it at that point.
Yeah.
You're going to save a little bit of your ammo for tomorrow night. Will you do that for us?
Cool.
Okay, terrific. Lennox, we enjoyed it so much. Thank you very much indeed. Richie, as always, our thanks to you. Most of all to everybody at home, thank you very much for watching. We're going to go across the road and get ready for the big one. Bye for now.
I don't fear being knocked spark out or even killed. I don't fear nothing. You ain't ready for me, and you never will be.
He's going to feel pain that he never felt before.
I want this to be one of the greatest comebacks in boxing history.
You bring your pillow because you want to have a good sleep.
Mind games are mine.
This is my time.